welcome back to the Beccy Knits podcast. I'm Becky and you can find me on Instagram as @BeccyKnits and on Ravelry as Becky Monday. I'll be leaving links down below to everything that I talk about today. So happy new year! It is the 1st of January and I am sitting down to just record a little bit about my kind of Christmas, Advent, New Year knitting. It's been a little while, it's been like a month and a half, I think, maybe 2 months since I last recorded. We were getting lots of work done on the house and there was workmen here all the time, so I didn't want to be recording. And the house was just a mess and my knitting was all like mostly packed away. So yeah, so I've kind of forgotten where I was in terms of what projects I was working on when I last spoke to you. So this episode is not going to be really much about previous things that I have been working on, but I will watch back my last episode and make sure that I catch you up on anything that I was working on then in the next episode. But this one is just kind of me wanting to sit down on New Year's Day and talk to you about my knitting because it has been too long. So I've got a couple of things that I want to show you. I did get some lovely yarny gifts for Christmas. I got one of Molly at Homespun House, her like curated boxes. I think it's the holiday box of Hygge. I got that for my Christmas present from my husband. And it was just wonderful. Every time I opened one of the little parcels, I was just like, yes, this is perfect, I love it. So, and that came with a skein of yarn, which was this one. I think I can now do this thing. How do I get it? Focus on the yarn. There we go. So this is called Winter Wreath, and it is really beautiful. It's just some lovely different green tones. So I need to find something to go with it. I'm thinking I want a red contrast because our wreath this year was just all green, and then I just put in a couple of red baubles. So that would be quite nice, I think, to have red cuffs, heels and toes to just set that off nicely. So that was that. If you watched my, sorry, I hadn't really intended to show you what I got in terms of yarn, so I didn't get it out, so I'm getting it out now. So if you watched my Vlogmas, then you will have seen these two that I got. I bought myself this year's Halloween at Hogwarts. I got it late, so I only received it in December, but this is really nice as well. Some like, I don't know, goldeny, yellowy, greeny bits in there and some really nice kind of deep purpley colours, so that's really pretty and I'm looking forward to knitting that up. That's a DK weight. And then I got the Christmas at Hogwarts sock set as well. So yeah, so I think I need to get something like this to go with my Christmas wreath, winter wreath from the Hygge box. It will make it very Christmassy, but that's okay because I want to have a couple more pairs of Christmas socks, because I only have one pair of Christmas socks and I would like some more, so there we go. And then the my advent calendar this year was the Bumbling Yarns advent calendar by A Lonely Knitter, and I got the one with the full skein for Christmas Day, and this was that skein. Came with a mini skein as well. and this is called Avengers Assemble, so it's not Christmassy. The advent calendar was a very nerdy advent calendar, I think it was called, and so yeah, they weren't Christmassy at all, so that was quite nice. And so yeah, the final one to open on Christmas Day was this one. So yeah, I'll be making these at some point. I don't know if I will use the mini skein that she's added, because it is 100 grams plus 20 grams of fingering. To be honest, I just quite like this on its own. Not sure I'm that fussed about this mini skein, sorry. So I might just knit them without the mini skein. So speaking of advent calendars, I didn't show all of my days of advent calendars on my Vlogmas. I did some towards the end, I think, but I didn't show them all. I'm not going to go through and show them all to you now because there's 24 of them, but they all came individually wrapped, as you might expect. And I decided, I don't know at what point I decided I was going to do it, fairly late on, like maybe even like the 15th or 16th, possibly even later than that. I finally decided what I was going to do with my advent minis, and I totally stole this idea from Sock Witchery, Lindsay from Sock Witchery, who I think got the idea from Gabby of Gabby of Plies and Hellhounds, or at least she was the first person that I saw do this, but she did the Shady Side pullover with the advent minis. So I don't know if it's going to focus on this. Please do. There we go. So these are my first 4 days, 1, 2, 3, 4, yep, of my advent calendar. And then the grey is Fibre Spates sock yarn. So yeah, I'm really pleased with how this is coming out. It's surprisingly quick. I thought, I mean, I'm sure once I've split for the sleeves and I'm just on body island and sleeve island and I'm not even increasing, then it's gonna suddenly slow down. But I think that doing the stripes is really keeping it interesting. So that's nice. So I'm enjoying this, and I'm planning for this to just be like a really kind of comfy, slouchy extra layer for kind of springtime. So it kind of looks like it's working in a bit of a fade, and I don't think it is a fade. So I think after this one it's suddenly going to change fairly dramatically, because these first 4 they don't seem like a very dramatic change in colours, but I think the next one is a bit more dramatic. I'm going to try and find it. I emptied the box because I wanted to use the box that they all came in for something else, so I just put all of them in my bag. It's not even a particularly interesting bag. Oh, it's a British wool bag, but yeah, I'm now kind of regretting that decision, because all of the lower numbers, the first ones I'm going to be using, are on the bottom, and all of the like more recent numbers are on the top. So is this it? This is it, right. So the next one is this one, which is very pretty, and actually I guess it's got pinks in it, so I don't think it's going to be, you know, a total shock, but I don't mind, you know. I wasn't going for a fade, so I'm happy either way. But yeah, really pleased with how this is turning out. I have got quite a lot of ends. I've been doing the weave and Steven method for weaving ends in, so I just need to go through and start cutting them, because they're starting to really get on my nerves. So yeah, so that one is just, I'm really enjoying having, I've got 2 projects on the go at the moment which are kind of they've got logical points when you can put them down. So, you know, I can do, if I've not got very much time but I've got time to knit on this, then I can just work through one of the colours, or if it's the grey then I can work into the grey. and it's kind of nice to sort of think, oh well, if I just do one more round then I will have finished this section and then I can put it down. So I feel like it's going quicker because I've kind of got little goals along the way. So that's quite nice. And then the other thing that I'm working on, which is similar, is I don't think I need to put a spoiler warning in here because it's if you got this then you would have opened it on Christmas Day in theory. So I don't think I need to put a spoiler in, but I got the Zebra Yarns. I think she called it Advent, but it's like 12 days of Christmas. Knit along socks. So here is completed up to today, the 1st of January. So this podcast almost certainly won't be going out today, so I don't think it's a spoiler. So this is where I am so far. This is the first sock and that's up to date. I am almost finished with the second, well, I say I'm almost finished with I've just started the second sock stripe. But once I got behind on day one because I just got the ribbing done, and then the next day, obviously then I had 2 stripes to do, but I managed to catch up, and then since then I have been caught up, which has been very pleasant. I was really worried that when it came to the heel turn, I was going to get behind again, but I managed to do 1 heel like the night before. So I finished the stripe of that day and then did the heel, and then I did the stripe on the other sock and then did that heel in the morning, so I didn't have to do 2 heels in one day, and that worked out pretty well. So there's my little heel. I did the Fish Lips Kiss heel, which is my new favourite heel because it's so quick and simple and I really like how it looks. So yeah, I knit 5 stripes in the top, and then my plan is to make up any difference in the length with the contrasting grey, because there's plenty of this. So yeah, if I've got any if I'm short in the toe, then I'll just add extra grey, which is fine because that's the bit that's going to be in my shoe. So, and then on here I have got my charm from Simply Serving. This was the charm that was in the holiday box of Hygge from Molly. And then on this sock, it's a mess. I need to take all these markers off and things because I don't really need them because the stripes are their own markers. This one was the Christmas at Hogwarts marker, and it's got a little chocolate frog. It's a bit hard to see, but the little chocolate frog sitting on the top of the stocking. So that's cute. So really enjoying doing those, and again, it's so nice to have just those little goals. I just have to knit 10 rounds on each sock and then that's it. And so that's been going super fast, and faster since I swapped over to knitting them on Magic Loop. I did to the heel on DPNs because I didn't have these needles yet. I ordered these the week before Christmas and they didn't come until, well, whatever day the heel was. And yeah, it must have been second day that the post was back on. I have no idea what day it is. I can't remember. So yeah, but they came and I immediately swapped them over because Magic Loop is my new favourite way of knitting socks, and I have like guilt about that. I don't know why, because I've been knitting, I think it's because I've been knitting socks on DPNs for 15 years. So I kind of feel like, I don't know what I feel, but I feel it. So yeah. And then my other project, which is kind of just slow going, it's been good for knitting in the car if we've been in the car or, you know, whatever. But there's no rush on these because these are going to go away for next Christmas. And that is my, I think I showed you this skein when it arrived. This is, don't move it. This is Santa Baby, and it is from the Fibre Fox. Just checking that it is Santa Baby, yep, and it is a DK weight. So you got a little mini skein of red, and then this beautiful green and red speckle, which is just working up so beautifully. And I have got my Baubley marker from the Christmas in July mini skein set that I got from Bumbling Yarn. So those are the projects that I am working on actively right now. It's so nice to just have 3 super simple projects to be working on, because obviously there's been a lot going on. You know, we've had a lot of work happening on the house. We've been getting ready for Christmas, and the boys have both been off nursery, and we've had like illness here and there, so it's been really nice to just have really simple projects to work on that I don't have to put any thought into. Like, the most complicated thing is increasing on the shady side, and there's markers to show me when to do that, so that's fine. So those are my current whips, and hopefully, well, the socks will be finished by the next time we speak, because I've only got 3-4 more stripes left to do, and yeah, I don't anticipate that the other 2 will be finished next time we speak. But like I say, the Christmas Santa Baby socks I'm in no rush to finish them. I'm not going to wear them this year. I'm going to put them away and wear them next Christmas. So I'm kind of wanting to make a couple of pairs of DK socks throughout the year to set aside for me to look forward to next Christmas. If you follow me on Instagram, then you will have seen that I said recently that I am not setting any New Year's resolutions. I'm kind of one of these people who likes to wait until New Year's to start doing something. And particularly if I think about it at the end of the year, I'm like, oh, I want to do, you know, I want to run every day for a year, or I want to, you know, I don't know, start running again. I'll wait until New Year's Day and then I'll start doing it. And it's just kind of like silly, because then I'm excited about it the day that I decide to do it, and then I'm not excited by the time I've waited to New Year's Day. So I'm not setting resolutions this year. I am setting intentions. There are 3 things that I just intend to do a little bit more of, and when I'm kind of making decisions about what I'm going to do in my free time, I can think about these intentions and can try and make my free time work towards those intentions. It just feels like a bit more of a relaxed way of doing things. So instead of saying I want to read 25 books this year, I'm just saying I would like to read more this year. In 2021 I just scraped in 4 books. I read 3 books, and then in the last week of the year I read another book. And that is just not like me. I used to read a lot. Before I had children, I read a lot, and like having children just made it more difficult for me to read. Finding reading time was a lot more difficult. So I've I'm switching myself to Kindle books, because I can read them wherever I am, and I can just get a page in here and there, and that has really helped me get a bit more reading done. So my intention is to read more this year. So if I read 5 books this year, then I will have read more than last year, and then that's fine. I have also said that I would like to sew more for myself, because I have a sewing business where I make children's clothes. So I make a lot of things with like jersey fabric, lots of like cute little joggers and cute t-shirts and things like that, but I then don't make a lot of stuff for myself, which is a bit of a shame. I used to again make a lot of like jersey t-shirts for myself, but it's just not what I want to wear a lot of the time now. So I want to make myself a couple of nice kind of grown-up pieces of clothes with like different fabrics. So that's one of my intentions. Again, I don't think I made anything for myself last year. at all. Maybe a t-shirt, maybe, but I really don't think I sewed anything for myself last year. So again, making just one item of clothing for myself is more than last year. And then the only thing that is kind of a bit more specific is that I would like to knit or finish a pair of socks every month. Because I know I can knit a pair of socks in a month, because in September I knit 3 pairs of socks, so I can totally get a pair of socks done at least. And then at the end of the year I'll have 12 pairs of socks. I have got quite a lot of socks that I've had in my sock stash for quite some time, and they're not the kind of colours that I want to be wearing now, and they're, you know, getting thin or whatever, so I want to start trying to update my sock box. And so yeah, that's my plan. So even though I do technically have about 7 or 8 pairs of socks on the go, I am going to cast on a specific pair of socks for January, because when I went to my stash to have a look, this just really screamed January socks to me. New Year socks. It is so colourful and just really beautiful. This is from a homespun house. It was a March yarn of the month for 2019, I think, but I got it in a D-stash. So came with a little mini skein, and yeah, I love it. So that's going to be my sock of the month, and I'm really excited to cast them on. I'm going to have to cast them on DPNs, but I am probably going to buy myself a couple more sets of the Chowgu red cable, whatever they're called. I want to call them red lace. I don't know if that's what they're called, but yeah, I'm going to have to buy a couple more pairs of those, I think, because they are just my favourite needles, so I want to make sure I have them available to me. I've got a couple of pairs of socks that I'm working on, and they're on DPNs, and I can't decide if I want to just switch them over onto Magic Loop or whether I just finish them on the DPNs, and then, because I still quite like knitting on DPNs occasionally, I can still do it. but I just find that I work so much faster on the Magic Loop. So that is it for this episode. I was kind of intending for this to be like a short episode, but you know, when I get talking, I can't stop. So yeah, but I am gonna go, and so I hope you had a lovely Christmas or holiday season and a lovely New Year, and yeah, I will see you again soon. Thank you. Bye.